Anyway, we are on game number 1. Welcome you guys, everyone, to this one. Double floodplains. Very interesting map. We have seen this one in the past already a few times. And for as many maps as we have available in the map pool, we haven't really seen many of these yet. Like, many maps we are seeing several times. But for the previous series, for instance, that was the first time that we saw Flood Across in the tournament that I remember. And then this is already like the third, fourth time that we see double floodplains, for instance. There are several other maps that haven't been used yet. And I would imagine we're probably going to see them in later stages of the tournament. Yeah, the minimap is not looking great, not looking great. For anybody who might not be familiar with this map, towards the southeast we have plenty of fishing. We have a lot of food for the players to potentially collect from. And then towards the northwest we have a lot of fishing as well, but this is not going to be a nice and tidy lake as what we have towards the southeast. Instead it's going to be kind of like a terrace where, yeah, fish live. We have some wood. We have plenty of patchy areas. Extra resources over here as well, gold, stone. But for the most part, the center is going to have the majority of the resources with all the gold, all the stone that you might possibly need, I guess. Even kind of on the back over here or towards the right hand side, you're going to get extra gold, extra stone too. And the best looking map. Well, it fits a purpose. I guess it probably fits its nature just fine.
Namaste. Oh.
Namaste.
There we go. Loom's coming up right now for ACCM as well. Buzzing off water maps. Are they back in fashion? Water maps? We haven't seen too much in terms of water maps. We saw Baltic. What else did we see? We saw Baltic, we saw enemy islands. Are those war elephants? Yes, yeah. Those are war elephants, but they cannot attack. These are retired, these are veterans. These have seen way too much in their lifetimes. They are scarred for life, so they have decided to go the peace way of scouting as opposed to fighting anymore. So even if you get to the castle age, you won't be able to make use of these. You cannot really fight. They have pretty good line of sight though. And yeah, we finished taking a look at the map for the most part. Something that I did not mention, but you might have realized if you were paying attention to the stream at all, is that the players, they do not begin with both TCs built already. They are going to begin with one TC already up. And then the other TC is packed, and they get to choose where to unpack the TC. So this is the unpacked TC from ACCM. And for Dark, on the other hand, he's got the unpacked TC very close to the starting TC as well. So both players are going to be in about the same position. Elephant Scout, next DLC's new unit confirmed. What is the next DLC? It's the Return of Rome, right? What are you expecting from that one? Yesterday I saw a video from Spirit of the Law speculating about it. And I agree with a lot of the things that he had to say. For the most part, I would definitely dig having, you know, something like what he mentioned of bringing some of the Age of Empires 1 civilizations, some of the Age of Empires 1 content to the Age of Empires 2 game, and try to make it fit within the Age of Empires 2 parameters as opposed to just porting the civs over as they are. The one after that? Alright. I don't think the Romans would have used elephants for scouting anyway, so that is true. Regardless though, Felix is here already for Dark. And he should be on his way to the Castle Age very soon. Actually, no. Wait a moment. Hold on. Dark's gone up to the Fuel Age with nowhere near enough resources to click up to the Castle Age. ACCM is in a much better position instead. On double TC start maps, you are kind of expecting your opponent, or you know, you're kind of expecting to be able to go up to the Castle Age soon after you click to the Fuel Age as well, simply because your economy is so much stronger. It goes up so much faster. If you take a look at ACCM, this is what I was kind of expecting to see from Dark as well, but Dark's going to be the first player to start going for Navy. He's going to try and get full water control. He might be able to get away with it, but ACCM seems like certainly he's going to be just prioritizing the Castle Age instead, and that could be huge. He's collecting stone quite heavily as well, so we could see for the Bull player, for instance, if he is the one to go for the Castle Age and he's collecting stone quite heavily, we could see the Bull player go for something like a castle around here. Let's say that he goes out to the Castle Age, gets enough to go for one, drops the castle over here. All of a sudden, he's able to take the TC down. Potentially, if he went for the castle even further forward, over here, might end up being able to target both these TCs. If we take a look at the scouting information for the Bull player, does he know about both TCs though? I think he does. I think he's got the elephant over here, doesn't he? Yeah, what is he doing? He's just chilling with the villagers. The elephant got distracted by the shiny gold and refuses to scout anymore. So it refuses to fight. It refuses to scout. Okay, there we go. It's moving. And of course, Dark will be the one to get full water control instead. No fishing ships will be left from ACCM, and Dark should be able to start catching up. The thing though is ACCM clicks up to the Castle Age, and from this point onwards he could go for extra Navy units. And he could try and prevent Dark from getting water control, but Dark has already had enough time to get about 7 galleys out, and 7 standard galleys will take fire galleys down easily. All these civilizations basically were the downfall of Rome. Celts sacked it first, true story. The Goths, Visigoths, Vandals, and some moved to Constantinople. So Byzantine is Rome, who fought against Turks, Mongols, and had all those left civs as pawns, Tatars, etc. That's what I think. I think that's kind of it, and that's also why Age of Empires 2 begins at, you know, with the Dark Age, because isn't what came after the fall of Rome the Dark Age, like the world losing on culture, losing on knowledge a lot, and basically being stuck without progress for a very long time until the Renaissance. Isn't that the case? I am not a history buff by any means, but from the very little that I remember from high school, I think, or not even from high school, from mid school or elementary school, I don't even remember when it is that we saw this. I think that's the way it was, wasn't it? Fun fact, those were Dark Ages in West European world. Other parts of the world would have their own Dark Ages. Yeah, that is true. That is a fair point. So this is mostly talking about Europe. So Rome falls, and then basically the world gets stuck. No progress. The European world, anyway, gets stuck. No progress. No culture. No new developments. Until the Renaissance. But yeah, I think there is a post Dark Age Rome. Isn't there? The Holy Roman Empire? Isn't that what we have in Age of Empires 4? I think that's something they could potentially bring to Age of Empires 2. That'd be interesting, but it's certainly not the same Rome that you would get from porting the civilization over from Age of Empires 1, for instance. If I have to speculate, well, I'm not going to speculate, but if I had like a wish list for what I would like for a potential Age of Empires 1 into Age of Empires 2 kind of thing, I would certainly like probably to see something like what Spirit of the Law suggested, of having Age of Empires 1 time period civilizations ported over, probably as a different game mode, as he says. As well, I think that'd be good. So it's kind of like having Age of Empires 1 and Age of Empires 2 within the same game, but with the Age of Empires 1 civilizations adapted to to work more like Age of Empires 2 civs, with unique units, unique technologies, and all the stuff that I don't think was available in Age of Empires 1. Even the not holy, not Roman, not Empire, Holy Roman Empire? Yeah, exactly, that one. Anyway, ACCM gets to the Castle Age, Dark gets to the Castle Age. We have the War Galley upgrade over here for Dark, but ACCM's putting pressure on water. It seems like he's going to end up getting full water control over here. We have some demolition ships coming up over here from Dark. But overall, ACCM is looking great. He's got so many more units over here. Much stronger navy. Anyway, the castle for ACCM ended up coming up behind the walls that he was already going for. He's gonna start getting the Gulam out. So here comes the raid. The elephant's going to lead the way, of course. Won't fight. There we go. Here comes ACCM, and Dark's just gonna manage to garrison some villages. He does not really have anything on land to fight against this. He's been going for some knights himself. He's got the stable up. And the knights are on the left-hand side. It's gonna try to come in. It's got a 4 siege workshop as well. Meanwhile, ACCM could go for camels, but I'm not really sure he's got a stable even. He doesn't have a stable! ACCM cannot go for camels! That is the one thing he's gonna need against Dark's push. And he's not gotten it yet. Meanwhile, his own push is working pretty well still, though. With the Gulam getting villagers down over here in the end. Forcing Dark to garrison a big chunk of his economy. And idling a big chunk of Dark's economy as well. Here we are. Yeah, the Gulam, they are just doing so much damage. Such a great unit. Left hand side, the knights are coming over. And now it's Dark's time to counter-strike. At ACCM does not have the defensive units. There we are. See on the right hand side, more damage coming in from the Gulam as well. As we have more and more units coming in from ACCM by the minute. And Dark's gonna try to keep on sending more units over the left hand side himself too. Doesn't really have any siege on the way, but he's got the knight still. There we go. ACCM gets kind of pushed back over here, but he does retain his lead for military. He retains his lead for workers as well, with 15 extra workers compared to Dark. And interestingly enough, as both players started making a transition to land unit production, they both stopped going for navy units. So you take a look, and ACCM's only on 3 fire ships, and he's finally going for some more. But Dark's been on 4 fire ships, and that's about it. He stopped going for any more as well. ACCM certainly has the most potential for damage on the right hand side, because if he ends up getting water back over there, he's gonna take down fishing ships from Dark. And Dark is kind of banking on those fishing ships for food income as well a little bit. While ACCM already got pushed away from water, so his worker economy right now is going to be 100% land-based. So if Dark retains water control over that doesn't really affect ACCM, but if Dark loses water control, that's going to be better for ACCM. That's going to impact Dark's economy quite a bit. And the Gulam keep on roaming around up in the north. On the right hand side, Dark's going to end up losing a few extra villages over here if he does not pay attention. Might end up losing more than a few. Dark's got a forward castle on the way. While ACCM managed to stabilize himself with the castle he went for on the left hand side. So he's got one on the right, one on the left. Dark's got a single castle forward. And it seems like from this point onwards, probably the players will just try to make a play for the Imperial Age. But take a look at the right-hand side, though! One more time, ACCM's Golem put a lot of pressure against Dark's economy. The red player will end up losing more villagers over here for sure. And this is probably not the end of it, you know? If the ACCM keeps on roaming around, it might end up finding these exposed lumberjacks. These exposed pharmacies going right into the farmers. These units are too far away from the TC to get garrison. So a few will go down for sure. And, well, we do have a knight over here from Dark, so obviously not going to be anywhere near enough against 6 golem. 5 golem even, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Knight goes down. Raid continues. More villages scramble. And ACCM manages to pull a significant lead over Dark's gonna be the first player to click out to the Imperial Age. Still trying to get water control back, by the way. It's got more fire ships on the way in Dark. Dark's not really been going for too many extra navy units himself, you know. If ACCM gets a few demo ships out over here, might be able to get water control back. There we go, Imperial Age is on the way for ACCM. Now as the fire ships get ejected from the docks, ACCM will end up losing his water presence over here. Get completely pushed out of water. But he'll be the first player to get to the Imperial Age, and because he's got 2 castles compared to Dark's single castle, and his head start to the Imperial Age consists of 1 minute and 20 seconds, he should be able to get about 4 trebuchets out over here before Dark even managed to get a single trebuchet. So Dark's castle is pretty much... it's kind of a goner right now, honestly. I feel like Golem is more effective than Knight in terms of raiding. High base spears armor. Yeah, they're very resilient. It's basically like Eagle Warriors. The difference, of course, is that Eagle Warriors are a little bit easier to produce, as you can go for several barracks for the same cost of a single castle. So production potential is usually never quite as high for Golem. But if you get a good amount of units and then you go forward, it's very, very difficult to get rid of those units. Obviously, the archer type units won't work. Knights could be good. They're pricey, and you certainly don't want to be defending with knights. You want to use the unit to attack. So it seems like a win-win with Golem. Even if you go forward and you lose the Golem to knights, you're preventing your opponent from raiding you. So Imperial Age is here for ACCM, and we see the first trebuchet on the way. He's not going for 2 at a time. He does not have enough gold. Now he does, so now he could go for it. He's got chemistry on the way, so we'll see potentially bombard cannons coming out as well. The castle on the way for ACCM. Very important to defend himself against this. Yeah, still no extra trips though. Wow, okay. Just trying to save the resource to go for Elite Golem by the looks of it. With the 3rd castle, his production potential increases by 50%, so if he gets Elite Golem, that's all of a sudden going to, you know, boost his military so much. Especially because he already has a few units out. Conscriptions coming in. Hey, extra trebuchets on the way for ACCM. Let's go. He should already be throwing this castle down though. He's not unpacked this one yet. But he's bringing the extra ones. There we go. Dark's already got into the Imperial Age. He's got the first trebuchet on the way, and ACCM's not paying attention. He's got the trebuchet over here completely idle. He's probably had this one idle for a while. Only now he starts unpacking this as he gets the 3rd trebuchet coming out of the castle. My lord, this is taking a while. But they should, in the end up taking this castle down for sure. Another castle on the left-hand side from ACCM is going to increase his production potential by 33%. And this to see coming out from Dark is obviously not really going to hold on over here for much longer once the castle comes up. And honestly, the Golem over here is going to delay it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, and the castle comes out from ACCM, so of course he's in a pretty good spot. The castle crumbled from Dark as we were expecting it to be the case, and the amount of traps over here from ACCM obviously would make that pretty easy. Now we see Hand Cannoneer coming out from ACCM. That's very interesting. I was not expecting to see this. But I guess he probably saw a few Samurai and he started anticipating a much larger number of unique units coming out from Dark. Having lost the castle forward, Dark is not really able to go for any extra Samurai. And going for this castle over here will allow him to go for Samurai again. But the amount of Gulans that ACCM can go for with 4 castles compared to what Dark's got available to train units from right now is so much stronger. There we go. There we are. The castle's going down already for Dark. Do Indians get bombard cannon? If you mean Hindustanis by Indians? Yes. Yes, they do. Chimbar the armors over here, and ACCM's going for Hussar production now. And that's just going to call the GG right there. Wow. Doesn't really have the means to defend against the Gulam, and the raids over here can be so impactful. So ACCM taking this one. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of the Vietnamese player, and we'll go through the achievements. Going through the military achievements over here first. We'll see that we have a better KD for ACCM, a little bit better than 4 to 3 KD ratio for economy. Still, we have a stronger economy for ACCM, collecting about 11,000 extra resources, and then for society, we see a stronger worker max count for ACCM as well. So he seemed to be on the lead in every single regard. They didn't before though? No, they had bombard cannons before when they were Indians too. Yes. They were technically a camel and gunpowder civilization, so they had bombard cannons. They had stronger, hand cannoneers with Chittagni as well. But yeah, alright, that's going to be it for game number 1. Let's go back. There we go, the next game's here already. We're gonna keep the same colors, so we're gonna have red for Dark, blue for ACCM. And for game number 2, we have Lagoon. This is one of those maps as well that we have seen more than one time already. Although, to be fair, I think this might be the 3rd time only that I see this one. And then yesterday we saw it once. A very long time ago we saw it as well. I think it might have been in the round of 64 or something like that. And it's a very interesting map for anybody who might not be familiar with this one. Players will begin with 2 TCs each surrounding a lake at the center. This lake, aka Lagoon for this map, has plenty of fishing, but is disconnected from the rest of the water outside in the mangrove over here by a ring of sand and rocks. So it's disconnected. That means that you can go for navy units outside to put pressure against your opponent's economy, or you can go for navy at the center to try and capitalize on the extra fishing over here. But you cannot connect your navy. Besides that, some other peculiarity on this map is the fact that players can collect food from crocodiles. So if you take a look over here, Dark for instance, he's got some crocodiles right next to the outpost. And these are basically like reskinned boars in a sense, if you think of it like that. He's got, from the crocodile for instance, 340 food, so it's the same as the boar. And they're going to be 75, HP as well. It's basically a crocodile version of the boar. And ACCM, I think he knows about this. He's not collected the ones on the left-hand side. And then the ones on the right hand side, he's collected 1, I think. Yes. So he's collecting from 1, so he knows. That's the important thing. It's gonna take some time for him to collect all 4, but he knows. And then Dark, on the other hand, Dark knows as well. Yes. So both these players are already aware of it. I'm actually nearly 1K after 3,000 games. Watching your stream these last 3 years has really helped. I'm glad to hear that, Rosa. I'm happy you found value in it. But you know, if all goes well, next year is going to be a lot better because we're gonna actually start playing. It's gonna be interesting for sure. Don't laugh so hard. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? I mean, I've been streaming for years, but I have not really been playing too much. So can't really help with the gameplay aspect of it too much, but that's going to change next year for sure. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that I made a post on YouTube for my viewers to answer. It was a poll for what it is that they would like to see more of on my channel. And most people wanted to see more, basically just keep on doing the same, just keep on focusing on casting high level tournament games. But the second most voted option was, you know, gameplay. Rank point of view. Hey, Perkita. Think they should make a video on Netflix about me? Wait, what? Alright, the players will be going up to the fuel age very soon. 36 eco units for ACCM. Dark's on 33, but he's playing Malay. So he's gonna catch up eventually just by having extra villagers come out of the TCs from going up a little bit earlier and have the TCs working a little bit longer. Edible crocodiles? Must be Florida. Yeah, they've been taking them. I think they already ran out of the crocodiles. Yeah. Oh, okay, we have some over here. I voted for Face Cam, Argentinian folk music. For gameplay, we might have Face Cam. I honestly still don't know if it's going to add too much to it, but whatever. Hey, Hardcore Massive. Welcome back as well. There we go. VLH here for ACCM a little bit earlier compared to Dark. And what is he gonna go for? That's the question, because once again, you have to make a choice. You cannot go for Navy on one side and utilize it elsewhere. So ACCM, he's got a third dock on the way outside, but he's got 2 docks inside already, and he's going for 2 fire galleys. He's gonna try to get a lagoon control. Yes, I saw the message, Rosa. We'll reply to it later. And we have only 1 dock for Dark inside. And the red player's got 3 docks, so he's got 2 docks outside. So he's gonna have more units coming out on the outer area of the map over here. And then fewer units coming out of the center, which means ACCM might end up getting full water control at the center, full lagoon control. And because he's getting the walls up over here as well, it seems like he's not really gonna be taking too much damage from Dark's Navy units at all. So it seems like a win-win kind of situation for ACCM over here. You know, this is the upper bracket for the final. So whoever loses over here will only be going down to the lower bracket. They will not get knocked out of the tournament just yet. Of course, whoever wins will be moving on to the semi-final stage already. The upper bracket round of 4. And we'll see. Nice pressure from ACCM. Of course, go for a gate over here and have a way into Dark's economy for sure, but for the time being, it's just going to get cleaned up. Meanwhile, the center, he will be the one getting control, getting full water control, so that's good. He's got also almost enough resources to click up to the Castle Age because he's playing Italians. He gets a discount to go up to the next stage. And if he goes for a market, he should already have enough to click up. As a matter of fact, just needs to buy a little bit of the food that he's missing. But I don't think he's got one. So he's just gonna have to wait. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this could be a good shot. This could be a juicy one. Dark realizes though right away. That results in a lackluster demo shot over there from ACCM, but he does still end up taking 2 standard galleys down, so Dark is left on 3. And if ACCM keeps on going for more, he might end up pushing Dark on the left hand side. Extra dock on the way now for Dark. With this one, he overtakes ACCM on the production potential for Navy units. He's going to be on 3 docks at the center, while ACCM still on 2. However, ACCM's been going for the buildings that he needs. He's got on the market. He's used it to balance his economy. He's got a blacksmith coming out right now with 4 villages, so he's going to try and rush the Castle Age, and he's going to be on his way up, while Dark is so far behind still. Interestingly enough, Dark is not only behind in work account, but even with the discount, you know, the research time discount that he gets when going up to the next stage, it seems as if he's only going to be able to catch up to ACCM in terms of economy once he gets to the Castle Age. And ACCM is off to the next one. This is not good though. Dark ends up taking some villages down from ACCM. I have no idea why ACCM had villages outside like that. He ends up losing a few. Now Dark has managed to surpass ACCM in work account. The center though, still very heavily contested by both these players, and ACCM is kind of struggling over here. He does have more Navy units, but that is not the best in control for ACCM. It's going to end up losing one of the fire galleys over here. It's going to try to get one down from Dark, but struggles to do so. Now he's bringing the extra fire galleys over here, and with good unit control, he might be able to come out on top of Dark, but Dark's been using his units extremely mindfully as well. If you take a look, the fire galley is taken towards the south. The weak one, so he's going to try and repair it. And Dark is going to land a good demo shot over there. Not quite as good as it could have been, but still good enough to keep ACCM on his toes. If the bull player, though, manages to keep these fire galleys up until he gets the war galley upgrade, that should put him in a much better position against Dark, though. However, Dark should be on his way to the Castle Age very soon as well. He's only going to take 60% as much compared to other civilizations to get to the next stage. And ACCM, first thing in the Castle Age, War Galley upgrade. Makes sense. By the time Dark gets to the Castle Age, ACCM might be able to catch up in War. Here we go. Beautiful. Castle Age is here now for Dark as well. Unbelievable. 4 dogs for the red player. We have 3 dogs for the blue player. Certainly, Navy count is favoring Dark at this point in time on the right hand side. ACCM is getting the walls up as well to just try and prevent Dark from coming in. Remember, this is hybrid terrain. You can still go for land units. So if we saw knights, for instance, or well, maybe not knights from Dark perhaps, but maybe some archers, he would still be able to get some good damage down. But any unit that isn't a boat is going to struggle against any unit that is a boat. So that explains why we don't really see too much of that coming in from either player. We saw that already several times. Land units against water units, they just don't work. Nice picks over here, and Dark's going to end up getting full center control by the looks of it. And ACCM struggling big time. Here we go. Beautiful. ACCM's pressure on Dark's side of the map is not strong enough. Dark's gonna stabilize over here. On the right hand side, Dark should be able to hold on over here just fine. And ACCM, interesting. He seems as if he's trying to save the resource to go up to the Imperial Age, even though he's losing control of the center. He's most likely going to end up losing the docks over here before he gets to the Imperial Age. So the only thing that I think ACCM could make use of in the Imperial Age would be fast fire ships for the outer part of the map. Which I'm not really sure how effective that would be. Got this on the way on the right hand side from ACCM. Some snipes coming in. Nice. Yeah, there we go. An Imperial Age is on the way for ACCM. But Dark manages to rake in enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age himself too. From this point onwards, honestly, from some time ago onwards, it just seemed as if ACCM was going to keep on falling further behind. Dark should be on his way to the Imperial Age himself very soon, and as long as he clicks up before ACCM gets to 40% of research completion over here, Dark is still going to get there earlier. He's got the resources. He was kind of missing the buildings, but now he's got the buildings too. And Dark is getting to the Imperial Age earlier compared to ACCM. Unbelievable. There we go, nice shot. ACCM's trying to get back on water. Not gonna be able to. Dark's Navy count over here significantly higher still. What kind of predictions would you guys have for this particular matchup? I personally probably wouldn't really be able to predict confidently, because ACCM and Dark, they are both very strong players. I would say maybe 3-2 in favor of ACCM, but honestly it would be so close. I think honestly this could be 3-2 for ACCM or 3-2 for Dark. And then you know, for my predictions, the next most likely outcome would be 3-1, you know, more so than 3-0. There we go, Imperial Age is here for both these guys. We see Shipwright coming in for ACCM. He's got fast fire ship, meanwhile Dark's going for Galleon instead. Despite the fact that he already has fire ships out. Just Galleon. Well, the Galleon will get ranged though. That's gonna be good. Last year I would have said ACCM is a clear favorite, but this year it looks much more or less one-sided. Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. I would say either 3-2 for either of these guys. Sounds a lot more likely than 3-1 or 3-0. Which is great to see, of course. We have Elite Cannon Galleon. Actually, not the Elite Cannon Galleon. So 2 Cannon Galleons coming out from Dark, which is great. It's already got in chemistry, so he's going for it. And ACCM's gonna start going for Galleon himself? No, fast fire ships. God, having an awful time recognizing the icons, but it's not going to be enough. Dark's got a castle on the right hand side, he's got TCs over here, should be able to defend himself, plus he's got enough navy to hold on. And ACCM not so much. And then on the left hand side, ACCM is going for a 4 castle, which I like. However, Dark still has a TC over here, and he's going for Stonewall behind the houses. Just try and prevent the fast fire ships from coming in. Just in time he gets it though, that could have been really close. It's really good as well from Dark. He's managed to get some docks up in the north. So now he's gonna start putting pressure. At the very least should be able to start putting pressure from behind ACCM's 4 walls. So this is exposed from ACCM, for instance. This is potentially exposed to Galleon. Now I want to see where are the Cannon Galleon from Dark. So far I haven't really seen him take advantage of this too much. He could try and go after the castle, but I think he ended up losing 1. He had 2. He's gone down to 1. So I think he tried to take the castle down and he got taken 1 of the Cannon Galleon down. An interesting story about Dark is that he played a show match versus nearly 2 years ago for the first double cup and lost 1-4 after it said he did not feel good enough yet to play in the tournament. Yeah, and take a look at that. Now, he's taken on freaking ACCM as it seems as... Yeah, there we go. As I praise Dark over there, we see him lose the Cannon Galleon for free, but... yeah, it certainly seems like he's going to end up taking game number 2 over here. In any case, just having a close set against ACCM is nothing short of remarkable for Dark or anybody else for that matter. But for this player in particular, it's very nice to see. The span of 2 years or so. We have Cannon Galleon again from Dark, this time around on the left hand side. Right hand side, we see Dark. Going for a castle forward, and it seems like ACCM won't be able to do too much about this. He's got a heavy demolition ship over here, but he was not paying attention. That is kind of a wasted chance for ACCM. Okay, there we go. He should realize once he sees the alert. The villagers being targeted by the Galleon. He's not doing anything though! Look, demolition ship's just standing idle! Left hand side? I think he's paying attention to the left, probably. Yeah, most likely. Okay, he realized. There we go. He realized, and he's going for his own castle on the right hand side as well. Neither player will be able to get access to this gold. And speaking of which, let's take a look at how much gold is available. I think there's plenty of gold still available on the map. It's not particularly scarce. So over here we have a lot. Over here we have a lot. And you can see just in the minimap, there's so much gold available still on the map that it doesn't seem as if the players are going to run out of it anytime soon. Obviously, map control is going to be extremely important. Oh, it's a trade cog, not a demolition ship. That is why. Oh my lord. It happens. It happens. That is why he couldn't really make use of it to try and target the villagers from Dark. Probably would have been able to scare the units away, maybe. And that's about it. Anyway. Going down now from Dark to ACCM's trebuchets. Well, Dark's got his own trebuchet over here. It's going to take significantly more damage from him to take the castle down from ACCM because the blue player already has 7 villagers repairing the castle over here, which makes up for the damage a single trebuchet is going to deal. If the game gets really long, it will probably be a bubble control because they need so much wood for ships and everything is in reach. Yeah, true. Castle over here should be going down. Not quite. We see a trebuchet go down for his CM. And Dark's got 13 villages over here, which will repair the castle against 2 trebuchets, but it will still be a little bit of extra damage from the trebs. So there we go. The castle does go down in the end. And check this out. We do have a lead cannon galley now from Dark. A little bit too late though. He ends up losing the castle over here. Ends up losing his presence on the right hand side, and ACCM might end up getting control of this gold once again in the future. First off, he needs to take care of the galleon. And then on the left hand side, we have a lot of extra pressure coming up over here as well. This time around, Dark's gonna be the one knocking on ACCM's door. ACCM's bringing some fast fire ships over here, which will not really do much of anything, especially within range of the castle. ACCM doesn't seem to be paying attention over here too much. Either that or he doesn't really care about the castle fire. Yeah, well, he'll end up getting cleaned up. There we go, he realizes. Cool map for the water map. Yeah. ACCM moves forward now, try and take the next castle down. Now he ended up losing his own castle though. That shouldn't have happened probably. Dark is getting away with extra jocks over here on the back of ACCM's villagers that the ACCM hasn't realized about. Now he knows, but he can't really do too much about it. It's going to send the villagers over the left hand side to try and repair the trebuchets over here. Meanwhile, Dark seems like he's going to get away with the harbors. Because he's gotten thalassocracy already, you know, the docks are so much stronger. These are harbors, and these act like towers and docks at the same time, so they attack nearby units. Oh, the devil shots are not quite as good. That would be massive if we would have gotten to the villages over here. Damn, boy. Here we are. This castle's most likely going down from Dark very soon, but man, the lead that the red player's gotten so far is just incredible. ACCM cannot keep up. He simply can't. It's gonna drop under 100 population very soon, and while Darks had a lead for a while, ACCM almost made the same as if the game was even for much longer than it actually has been even for, you know, and Dark is... Yeah, Dark's getting full control over here. With all the harbors, it's gonna be so difficult for ACCM to get out of his base on the right hand side. And then Dark is probably gonna go for something similar on the left hand side once he gets full control of the right hand side. And ACCM, well, ACCM is dropping under 100 population by quite a lot. 90 over here compared to 191. Dark is, well, pretty much guaranteed to take game number 2, so long as he doesn't massively throw the game. I just noticed the title's still wrong. Is the title wrong for everybody? Because I did update it before. But if it's still outdated for everybody else, I'm gonna try updating it before. This is not Streamlabs, by the way. ACCM calls it GG. Oh, it's still wrong. There we go. It's updated now again, hopefully. This time around it worked. I hope. Anyway. What am I doing here? Let's go through the achievements first. So for game number 2, going in favor of Dark. And this was a fairly long one overall. We'll see a better KD for Dark by quite a bit. Ends up getting a better than 5 to 4 KD ratio, while for Economy, a much stronger Economy, collecting about 16,000 extra resources. Higher working count, especially towards the end as well, as he was getting full water control at the center and outside as well. ACCM wasn't able to keep up, of course. And then for APM, APM is something that I've been taking a look at a little bit more in Double Cap 3, because the double TC start players are pushed to their limits a little bit more. But it seems like it's looking better for Dark as well, so let's go back. And there we are. There we go. We are in the next game. Hold on. There we go. All right. What do we get for game number 3 over here? First off, we're going to be switching Dark over to the red color, same we have in games 1 and 2. And for game number 3, then, ACCM is playing with Lithuanians, Dark is playing with Hindustanis. And guys, remember that after this series, we will take a look at Jordan versus Winchester, if I'm not mistaken, right? No, Jordan versus Dragonstar, sorry. Jordan versus Dragonstar. We'll be taking a look at that one, which took place earlier today at 16 GMT. When I went to bed last night, it was not... I didn't know that they were going to play at 16 GMT. I'm not really sure if it was not published yet or if I just didn't check, but I didn't know they were going to play, so I got up today just to cast B series, and that was already halfway through. So we're going to be casting that one, took place earlier today. We're going to be covering that one too, so that we are completely caught up for the tournament. So it's going to be 3 series. The one we cast at the beginning, this one, and then Jordan's, or Dragon Stars, depending on how you look at it. For these civilizations, and starting with ACCM, Hindustanis, Lithuanian, sorry, will provide them with 150 extra food upon starting the game. Besides that, for Lithuanians, we get 1 extra attack on Knights and Light units per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, so up to 4 extra attack. For Lithuanians, we also get 10% fast movement skirms, spearline units, and for the team bonus, 20% faster working monasteries. So that can be really good. And Dark, sorry, ACCM over here on the left hand side, trying to go for the boar, struggling. He's gonna go again. There we go. He should be fine. And then Dark Civilization, though, the red player is gonna get a discount on villagers. 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper, depending on the age. Extra armor on gunpowder units, faster attack in camels, as well as for the team bonus damage from Camel Rider and light cavalry units against buildings, +2. And that's about it for the civilizations. Now let's take a look at this. Each player is going to begin with 2 trading donkeys per TCs, or actually per trade workshop, I guess you can call it. So you will notice that they have the ability to trade if they spot their enemies' markets. And these donkeys are going forward, but these donkeys are coming back. Do they carry anything? They do not really carry anything yet. I don't think the blue players been trading either, right? Where are the donkeys? Yeah, I don't think he's trading. Is he? Doesn't seem to me like he's doing it. A lot of camels as well. What's those buildings? Those are trade workshops. They are a trade workshop overlaid on top of a market sprite, so that's why they look different. Here we go. Probably scouting? Yeah, perhaps. Let's take a look at the scouting information from both these guys to see. Yeah, they're basically using just the units to scout. So we have scouts, we have the trade donkeys. Trade donkeys over here. Come on, go! Get it! Go up to the market. He knows about this trade workshop. He doesn't know about the one towards the northeast. And then Dark, on the other hand, he doesn't really know about any of the trade workshops, I think. So he cannot trade. He couldn't trade even if he wanted to because he doesn't know where the markets are. Village on the way for Dark significantly earlier compared to ACCM, which means ACCM might end up going after the Castle H a little bit earlier. Offensive trading? Hey, we've seen it. Mountain Coast, quite a bit. And we actually saw it in this map as well, quite a lot. During Double Cup 2, I remember. The players would trade with the donkeys early on and until it was not possible for them to do so anymore. Village is coming out for ACCM so much later compared to Dark. What is Dark's plan over here? He's got only now a barracks coming up in the north, so this is not a build for him to try and put pressure in the village. He's just gonna try to go up to the castle age. It's just that his resources were not the best. Oh, ACCM was trying to go out to the donkeys. That was going to take so long. Yeah, and ACCM still not trading. I think he knows. Yeah, he knows about a trade workshop down the south of his donkey. Just going around. And just chilling. As ACCM gets to the Castle H, Will Dark's gonna be on his way to the Castle H very soon. Sorry, as ACCM gets to the Field H, both players will be on their way to the Castle H very soon. Dark is going for a stable right now, and he's got the buildings right now to click up. Meanwhile, we might see a villager go down over here, actually, from the red player. Yes, sir. There we go. The villager goes down, but ACCM is now trapped, and he loses the scout. Donkey is here still, though, and is making it difficult for Dark to keep on mining. And Castle H is on the way for both these guys. It's about the same time. As a matter of fact, ACCM managed to click up to the next stage earlier compared to Dark. Oh, but ACCM loses 2 villages in the wood line over here to Dark Scout. That is huge. There we go. The donkey goes down for ACCM. He's got 3 left. Still no trading, I think. Yeah, it's just scouting. At this point, it's probably finding more value in getting vision around what Dark's going for, as opposed to getting a little bit of extra gold. Even if it can be a substantial amount of extra gold, actually. There we go, Castle is gonna be here for ACCM. What I'm wondering though is, what is he going to go for? If we take a look at the left-hand side, he's got 2 stables down the south, so we know he's gonna start putting pressure with knights. And taking a look at the relic location, we have 3 relics across the center, 4 relics across the center actually, and then 1 relic on the right-hand side favoring Dark. So very important for ACCM to be the first one going for monasteries, if it is to collect the relics at all. Since the current distribution seems to be favoring Dark a little bit, mainly because of the fact that he's the only player with a back relic, with the safe relic. Oh boy. Do you smell that? Somebody's cooking. It's not here. My flatmate's in their room. It's a neighbor that's cooking. I can smell it now, making me hungry. Nice raid. As we see the first knights coming in, we'll see 2 villagers go down already from Dark. Make that 3 villagers. Maybe that potentially 4 or 5 villagers. 4 down so far. To this rate, it's going to be overall 5 units dead from Dark in terms of eco losses. And he's got into the Castle Age himself, so he's got camels coming out right now. Once again, very important for ACCM to try and prioritize relic collection, so he does have a monastery. And he's got the first monk coming out. He knows about this relic. It seems like this is the one he's going to go after for the first relic, but he knows where about 5 relics are. I don't think he knows about this one. Yeah, this one he doesn't have vision of. In this game, I wonder whether Dark knows that donkeys can't trade. ACCM probably forgot because he should know from Double Cup and Double Cup 2. Yeah, neither player actually made use of that. My lord, this is a very, very strong food smell. Now it's starting to make me nauseous, not hungry anymore. I am entering food coma here. Eat for all of us, Turnip. Save yourself. Oh, 4 castle on the way for Dark though. ACCM starting to collect stone quite heavily right now, but he utilized the 200 stone he had at the very beginning to go for 2 additional TCs, so he's on 4 TCs, while Dark's on 3 TCs. And the red player is gonna try and get the castle up over here, sending the villagers already. And ACCM, well, ACCM has managed to collect 1 of the relics so far. He's going for the next relic over here with this monk, so it's going to be 2 relics for him at the very least, and then he's got another relic on the way already, so that's gonna be 2 relics coming in for him very soon. That's going to leave him on 3 relics, plus 3 attack from his knights. Potentially Light Chai if he ends up making a play for them as well. But let's take a look. The castle's coming up, and taking a look at the ACCM. He knows about this, but he cannot really do too much. Even the spearmen are insufficient because he doesn't have the pikeman upgrade. The camels will clean these units up anyway. Yes. And the raids from ACCM not really happening anymore. Not really doing much of anything. The only units that we have from blue on the right hand side are just these converted camels from before and not much else. The donkey. We also had a player who played last year who forgot that the Jaguars and Double asked and gave food. Is that overtaken? I think he was the one who was not collecting food at all from the Jaguars. Actually, he did collect food, but only after the Jaguars attacked the villager, and the villager started collecting automatically from the Jaguars after he got them. So let's take a look at this. The conversions are coming out. The camels are very slow to take the monks down, and no way! No way! Not a single monk goes down over here, and the conversions are coming in. How on earth is this happening for the blue player? I have no idea, but ACCM ends up keeping all monks up, ends up converting the camels, taking down the camels he cannot convert. Now Dark's gonna start getting some Golem out to get the raids going. This is very similar to what we saw in game number 1, when ACCM was the one playing with Hindustan as a Golem. Can be a fantastic raiding unit. At this point in time though, ACCM, unlike in game number 1, is a hailing population compared to Dark. Game number 1, you know, the Hindustanis was the player ahead. Or was a civilization from the player getting ahead, and there's the second castle coming out for Dark. Counter castles on the way now for ACCM. It's gotta be careful. I don't think this castle can reach that, can it? No, it can't. A lot of Gulam over here for the red player. You know, ACCM might end up losing his villager leave over here to the Gulam. We have camels as well. There we are. The castle comes up from ACCM. This is good. Dark gets the castle up over here. So still gets away with it. But ACCM gets the castle over here and prevents Dark from further pushing from this side. The right hand side, we see the monks coming over. We have monks, we have camels coming in. ACCM is getting redemption, is gonna try and convert the market. You know, and he could potentially even go after the stables pretty easily. Just charge the conversion up, and then if any units should approach, just insta convert them. In the end, Dark ended up collecting the relic that he had on the back, by the way. So this, the 5th relic down the south, is going to be the only relic left for grabs. And by the way, the trade workshop over here got converted for the bull player, but the market underneath it, it's still red. That is not something that we have seen before. Nice raid over here. The TC is coming out for sure though, but that's going to result in a few nice village picks over here from ACCM. Potentially some conversions too. Oh, he's trying to use the monks though to prevent the villagers from getting the TC out, but it's not going to be fast enough. TC's coming up already anyway. But he did manage to delay this one enough to take the majority of the villagers down. In the end, Dark's going to have only 6 villagers left over there. He's falling behind by about 12 villagers at this point. And ACCM's looking great. Not only he's ahead in worker count, but he's got a lot more resources. If he plays his cards right, he should be able to go up to the Imperial Age very soon. Let's take a look to see if he can get good conversions over here. He's gonna try, of course, without theocracy. Anything less than perfect monk control over here is going to result in over conversions. So, does end up losing the trade over here, losing a lot of monks, hundreds of resources down the drain over there for ACCM. Dark's walking away. Or pushing ACCM away. Golem on the left hand side though, still putting pressure from Dark. Zealous. It's easy to forget if you participate in 20-30 tournaments per year, but I expect players to at least read the 5 map descriptions of maps. Their specific set. Yeah. And the Nero seemed as if he was completely prepared for his set. He was the first player to go for C towers, and it seemed as if Overtaken reacted to seeing the C tower, going for C towers himself. And then also it seemed as if El Nero was a player who was familiar about the Jaguars, and Overtaken doesn't seem like he was familiar with it.
So
yeah, nice defense for ACCM so far. You know, he seemed as if he was gonna click out to the Imperial Age much earlier compared to Darken. That could still be the case, but he certainly started going for a lot more military units over here, trying to play defensive. As Dark ended up pushing ACCM's forward back. Now ACCM's gonna be stuck kind of playing defensive over here for the time being. With all the Gulan coming in from Dark, ACCM's reacting by going for Bloodlines Husbandry. He already has some Lychai out, and this should be enough for him to clean up all of Dark's units. However, the red player, he stopped producing military, he's falling behind the military count. He was in lieu of it, saving resources to click up to the Imperial Age, and he will be the first player to click up. By a lot! Not even close. ACCM instead, he's got monks on the way. He's got Lychai, and he could try to go for a push. However, it's gonna be pretty difficult. The distance is quite vast between both these players, and Dark is only 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from the Imperial Age, so it's not going to take too long for him. Plus, with him the Stannis, he'll be able to keep on going for camels while he waits for the Imperial Age to finish researching. So it's not like if ACCM is just gonna go forward and have nothing to fight against from Dark, and he'll just be able to freely raid. Obviously, Dark will have his own camels that he's producing while waiting to get up to the Imperial Age. There we go. Yeah, the trade workshop is what you see over here. Trade workshop is converted, but the market behind it is not. So it's going to be blue on top of red. Dark's coming out from Dark. This could be huge. There's a little bit of an engagement at the center with the conversion coming out for the bull player. This is more important. 6 petards coming out. We'll take a look at that in a moment. For the time being, let's take a look at this. Up in the north, Dark's push. It's looking great. Cast is on the way now for Dark as well. And because he's going to be the first and only player getting to the Imperial Age, he'll get access to trebuchets. This caster should crumble. He's got 7 petards. And there we go. He's going for it. And the castle is completely crumbling from ACCM. And now Dark's got into the Imperial Age so he can get access to heavy camels. He'll get access to trebuchets, of course. Meanwhile, ACCM's just trying to go for the counter raid over here as he tries to save enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be able to click up. He's got the buildings. He's got the resources. Just gotta click it. And he was trying to get raids going with Lucho over there, but you know, even with a few relics over here, Lucho will still not be strong enough to sustain good battles over here from ACCM. I'm really curious about tomorrow's match between Winchester and the Viper. I think Viper does not prepare some maps well. Winchester will be the clear favorite if Viper does not prepare some maps well. But with a little preparation, it should be a relatively close set. That's an interesting sounding one for sure. Very much looking forward to it. Myself. Nice pressure from Dark with the trebuchets, of course. He'll be in a much better spot to put pressure against ACCM, who is still over a minute away from the Imperial Age himself. Nice. To the north. Dark with his heavy camels. It's preventing ACCM from getting good engagements over here, even with Lucho, even with 3 relics. And I believe, does ACCM know? Let's take a look at this. And the camels are taking the Lucho down. The castle over here is certainly going to help, so ACCM can still cannot really take the engagements. But does ACCM know about the 4th relic? He didn't know about it before. He knows about it now. The 5th relic, technically. The 4th that he would be able to collect if he went for it. But yeah. Really just here, ACCM's going for Halberdier. Dark could make a play. Well, he's got Gulam already. He doesn't really need much else than what he already has to fight the pikeman off, the Halberdier off. And then you could potentially make a play for Hand Cannoneer if you wanted to as well. And overall, by taking a look at the minimap, there is certainly quite some momentum for Dark. He is completely barreling through the defenses of ACCM. He's got great momentum over here, and if you take a look at the blinking dots on the minimap, they are all gonna be around ACCM's side of the map, around ACCM's kingdom. And Dark is completely unscratched back home with a working economy that he doesn't even need to worry about. He doesn't need to garrison villages around. He doesn't need to worry about raids. So you know, in a position like this, it's extremely difficult for ACCM to come back, because without counter raids, Dark's just going to stay ahead. But going for counter raids would take units away from where he needs them, which is defensively over here. It all depends if we see Watchstyle Viper or the 2019 Viper. You know, that is a very curious thing to say, Zealous, and raises a good point. It seems to be common consensus that players below the top 4 are closing the gap significantly compared to players on the top 4. And right now, there is the most competition at the very top of Age of Empires there's ever been for Age of Empires 2. Because everyone has been getting better, and there we go, ACCM calls it GG, we were expecting for this to be the case. Because everyone has been getting better in the last few years, you gotta wonder, would 2019 Viper actually be good today? Because he was dominated in the past doesn't mean that he would still dominate a few years down the line, you know? I wonder if 2019 Viper played versus 2022 Jordan or Doubt or Winchester or Vilese or even Valles. If 2019 dominating Viper dominated in the 2019 scene would still dominate today. I don't know if that makes sense. I tried to make it clear, but I think I probably just made a stew of words. A soup. So going through the achievements for game number 2 before jumping into the next one, we'll see that for military we have a better KD for Dark in the end. It's going to be about 3 to 2 KD ratio for Dark. For economy, we have a stronger economy for Dark as well, collecting well over 9,000 extra resources compared to ACCM. Fantastic use of the Hindustans for Dark. Society also shows a higher work account for Dark. Throughout the game over here, ACCM lost the most units this game as well, losing 125 villagers if I'm not mistaken. And Dark on the other hand, well, he ended up taking only about 56 losses. Pretty comparable APM for both these guys. We are here. In the next one, welcome everybody to match point, game 4 over here between ACCM and Dark. Dark's already ahead by 1 point, and this map is gonna be Venice Best. Remember this one for the RMS Cap 2 map contest? It was an interesting one. Couldn't really everybody agree on it though. But it was certainly a runner-up, I would say. Now it's being utilized in other tournaments, which is great. We want to see that. We want to see the influence of RMS Cup 2 reach way past the lifetime of the tournament itself, of course. And we have that. We have that with this. We've had that with Valhalla as well, with Jungle Rumble, right? So yeah, let's take a look. What is going on over here? Why is ACCM sending a villager forward? I'm not really sure, but he got spotted and he got targeted by the scout and the wolf over there, I think. So now he's going to have just a useless villager. And Dark, I don't think Dark's sending villagers forward. I know. Oh, there we go. ACCM's bringing the villager back. Yeah, I have no idea what it is that he was doing with the villager over there, but now he's bringing it back. Regardless though, for civilizations, ACCM's using Berbers, which means he gets 10% faster moving villagers, 10% faster moving ships, and oh boy, this could be bad now. The red player realizes the battle. He's gonna try to block the villager, not gonna be able to do it. And he gets pushed back. He's got the heal advantage over there though. ACCM's got a bail. The TC's over there, only 1 villager. 3 villagers actually garrisoned inside it, so this engagement could still go anywhere. Could go in, you know, in the favor of either of these players. It's going to be dependent on Micro, but Dark doesn't seem to be interested in taking the engagement at all, and he's just going to bail. So besides the fast moving ships and villagers, Berbers will also get 15 and 20% cheaper stable unit production in the Castle and Imperial Ages. Besides that, we also have for Berbers. Oh, nice. Notice, ACCM, I don't think I have seen anybody go for this before. Just tries and prevent Dark from trading. What about the south? Where's the dock? He doesn't have a dock down the south. No, just the one up in the north. Okay, okay. Is he trading himself? He is! This is going to represent a huge lead for ACCM if he's the only player who can actually trade. Notice, each trip is going to bring him 170 plus gold. So yeah, besides that, before I forget about it, Berbers will get for the team bonus access to Jenny Tours. Meanwhile, Dark with Byzantines will get a myriad of bonuses. Mainly a discount on Skirm, Spear, and Camel Rider units, as well as 10, 20, 30, and 40% extra HP on buildings in the Darkfield Castle and Imperial Ages. And for the most part, that'll be about it. He does get some other bonuses too, like free Town Watch, Town Patrol, faster attacking fire ships, faster attacking fire line units. I think that's going to be very relevant over here as well, but otherwise not so much for everything else. For the earlier stages of the game, that is. Pillage is on the way for both these guys. Dark is going up significantly earlier though. Here we are. Yeah, and ACCM's gonna keep on trading. Dark is not preventing this at all. There's hundreds of extra resources ACCM's getting for free. And Dark gets to the village. He's gonna try to target the villagers right now. Might be able to get one over there. We have a little bit of a hill advantage for the villager in the end. We're gonna see the villager go down for sure. Will we? Not quite. Should be the case. This is not being garrisoned. Oh, and the villager goes down at the last second. Dark manages to get her. Does it matter? Probably not. Take a look at the economy for ACCM and the economy for Dark. ACCM should be on his way to the Castle Age very soon. He's got a blacksmith coming up. If he can get a market up, might be able to buy his way up so much earlier. And Dark? Well, Dark is using the market right now himself. Selling some of the stone just to keep up though. Just to keep up, but ACCM should be in a better position. Nice scout snipe. Beautiful. ACCM's gonna keep on trying to trade. Let me take a look at how much trade gold he's gotten so far. Yep. He's gotten 3 trips. Oops. He's going for more. Yeah, make that 4 trips. And it's gonna keep on going for more. Dark is gonna try to target the junk now. But it might be coming in too late. Even if Dark ended up cleaning up ACCM's junks, ACCM's already gotten so many extra resources from these units that it's ridiculous. Interestingly enough though, Dark is the one to abuse the market first, and he's going to end up getting up to the Castle Age earlier because of it. While ACCM, he did have a much stronger economy, but tried to prioritize navy production instead, and he's going to try to get water control over here. It can be important. Water over here is going to be far-reaching for sure, so definitely need to prioritize that. But Dark is just risking it by going out to the Castle Age instead and not really producing quite as many navy units. Hey, Iron Chef, welcome. Is this AoE too? In a sense. Yes. I don't think I've ever seen a unit called junk before. Yeah. It's one of those special units you need to specifically spawn with the script or use the scenario editor to get access to. Otherwise, it's not really available. It's pretty similar to the sea tower that we saw earlier today on Coral Islands. It's basically a trade cog, just a trading ship. So ACCM has been getting hundreds upon hundreds of free gold just by trading with Dark stock. Meanwhile, Dark, he has his own junks too, but he's not really been able to trade too much because ACCM only now went for these docks, but before this was the only dock that ACCM had, and Dark couldn't go for it. Now the red player is also taking advantage of this. 158. There's actually a lot of gold. If he's just trading to one of these docks, there's actually a lot of extra gold compared to what ACCM is getting for a much longer trip. Didn't see it, just got here. Yeah, it's fine. You'll eventually see it. It's area 2 with weird units. You could call it like that, I guess. Okay, alright. So, Dark is trading with this dog. That makes a lot more sense, because if he was getting 150 gold from one of these dogs, trading with these dogs, that would have been so much better for him compared to what ACCM's been getting for a much longer trip. I don't know the exact differences, but just from watching, it looks like it has more armor. It's more resilient, yes. It's not being particularly easy for either of these guys to get the junks down. There we are. Wow! Dark did not get a single villager over there with a knight. He ended up pushing the villagers away from the wood line, but only managed to get one down to very low HP. And the villager was saved by the spearman in the end. Interesting. As ACCM gets to the castle age, he's got enough resources to go for the castle. Dark went to the castle age significantly earlier, but with a smaller economy and certainly not benefiting quite as much from the junks for sure. If we take a look at the economy stat of the the economy tab of the stats right now, you'll see the trade profit is significantly better for ACCM, collecting about 400 extra resources. Good defense for ACCM, should be able to get the monastery up. 30C up, the 40C is on the way for ACCM as well, while Dark is going to end up getting water control towards the south over here, towards the southeast, which is very interesting given the fact that the ACCM was delayed to the castle age by quite a lot because he was trying to go for extra navy units at the fuel age. In the end, he ends up getting pushed back, and he doesn't really have too much in terms of navy anymore. Just a one fire galley on the way, and one demolition raft. Out in the wild somewhere. Let's take a look. The advanced Genie editor says it has a work rate which is about 3 times of a trade cost, so even while being slower, it should generate more gold per distance. Yeah, that seems about right. They've been getting so much gold. Conversion coming out for ACCM. That's gonna be another conversion connecting. He's got camel archers on the way. Should be able to clean this up. He's got the defender's advantage, and with Berbers, he gets 15% cheaper stable units as well, so he can go for camels easily. And he'll end up pushing Dark away, so Dark is looking stronger overall for population over here, but ACCM might not struggle too much to catch back up at all. Here we go. Beautiful. Picks over here from ACCM. Dark takes a little bit of time to realize about this. So far, these camels have been able to get 6 villagers. Make that 8 villagers so far. Actually, 7 villagers so far. 8 kills total. He'll not getting cleaned up. But that's good damage. And ACCM all of a sudden now is looking stronger. He's got a stronger population compared to Dark. Such back and forth. The game is definitely not over, but ACCM should have a little bit of a lead. He's got enough stone to go for yet another castle, while Dark still has not been collecting stone. Won't be able to go for one. Makes me wonder, where will ACCM go for a castle? He's got the chance of getting the castle up down the south over here, try to secure this area. So maybe getting the castle up over here on the hill, that'd be good. Will allow him to secure this for sure. Potentially, he could go for a 4-1 instead. Okay, he's going to go for one in between both his bases. Another interesting fact, it has a collision size of 0.3 while the trade cog has 0.5, so Pathfinder should be much better. And the collision size over there is based on a tile, right? I would imagine that's probably the unit for size, as it's usually the unit for range and for AoE damage. I would imagine that would be a quarter of a tile, right? So. Or is it half a tile? Talking about surface area. Can units be longer than they are wider? My lord, I mean, can be they longer than they are wide? That's what I mean by saying a quarter tile, because 0.5, it's probably just 0.5 by 0.5, right? That's why they seem to pass through each other. Yeah, that makes sense, for sure. And Will, ACCM starting to pull a nice lead. It's gonna be getting the first DC up over here at the center for him. Meanwhile, Dark already has a DC at the center because we have the extra resources on the center island, so it's very important to try and get some control over here. Theoretically, it should be possible, but I believe all units have a circular radius. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So I imagine it's probably a 0.25 radius, right? Non-circular sounds like a nightmare to compute that thing, or with multiple units involved. Might be the case. Here we are. Camels get pushed away from ACCM over here. But he is the one right now calling the shots. He is the one in the driver's seat. He's got more raids coming up everywhere as well. On the left-hand side, these camels are getting away with murder. 16 villagers down so far. The Dark only now realizes about this. ACCM's gotta be careful not to lose these units for free, but he's looking really good. Little raid on the left-hand side from Dark, trying to prevent the castle from coming out. Not gonna be able to prevent it, but it's going to delay it quite a bit. However, with the extra camel archers coming up from ACCM, it should be able to push these camels away. And if you take a look at this economy, ACCM seems like he'll be able to go up to the Imperial Age very soon as well. Well, Dark, not so much. Even with the 33% discount the Byzantines get. Here we go, the castle's coming up for ACCM in the end. Even with the camels here. Well done. It's on the way now for Dark as well. Damn, he had to abuse the market just to get enough resources to pick up, but fortunately for him, the Byzantines do provide him with a discount. Otherwise, he probably would not have been able to go up quite as quickly after ACCM clicked up himself. What we will get for the blue player once he gets to the Imperial Age, he's gonna have 2 castles to produce trebuchets from over here, and he's actually gonna try to go for a 3rd castle forward. This one for the blue player is absolutely fantastic as well. Yes. He'll end up pushing. TC down. He'll end up pushing the red player away from this goal as well, and he's going to end up securing this goal himself too, which is great. Plus this goal, if he ends up preventing Dark from collecting it. There's a counter castle coming up over here for Dark though. Ah, yeah, he noticed. He noticed ACCM was going for it, so he went for the counter castle. However, Dark is going for one on the left-hand side. It's still good. If ACCM gets this castle up before Dark gets to the Imperial Age, though, he'll be able to outproduce Dark for trebuchets anyway. Villages have a collision size of 0.2. Currently Warriors 0.15. A lot of military units have between 0.3 and 0.5. I think bigger than 0.5 does not exist, even if their outline is bigger. So is that radius or half a tile? Makes me very curious about those instances where there's one tile open and a single scout prevents the villager from walking out, for instance. So I would imagine that that would be probably... Nah, that cannot be radius. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to fit 2 scouts inside a single tile. Yeah, I guess it's probably just total size. Okay, let's just on the way now for ACCM, so you can go for bombard cannons very soon. He's got already 3 trebuchets out. And Dark gets the first trebuchet out, and this is what I was talking about. The production for ACCM is so much stronger. If he ends up getting the castle down over here and potentially getting the TC down, he might end up pushing Dark away from the center. While on the right hand side over here towards the south, Dark is going for a castle, and he knows about ACCM's castle himself as well, so he might be the first player to start going for trebs over here, especially as ACCM's going for elite camel with that castle. Gonna really go for the upgrade and also go for turrets, but take a look at that. Up in the north, ACCM's got the raids coming in. With the camel archers, he's looking great. Absolutely fantastic. There we go. Dark's gonna end up losing the TC. Here we are. It's looking fantastic for ACCM. He's gotten to 200 population already. He's still putting pressure on the back of Dark's base and red player. He's going pretty heavily into camels, but it's just going to take so much for him to even catch up. Let alone potentially push ACCM back. The biggest thing about this also is with ACCM taking full control of the center, Dark's not really going to have access to gold anymore, right? I think he probably already ran out of the gold outside. There is some left over here, but that's going to be only 2 tiles worth about 300 gold. So after that effectively runs out, the only gold available for Dark's going to be the ones at the center, and ACCM seems as if he's going to end up getting full center control. So unless Dark is able to stop ACCM and his push down the south over here, it seems as if game number 4 is going to go in favor of ACCM. We're going to get a full series over here, as the Vietnamese player right now is looking so much stronger with close to 200 population. It's going to be locked 200 population very soon, and Dark still struggling to get even to 150, down to 133 right now. Going pretty heavily into camels and still struggling to take on the camel archers from ACCM. There we go. Blue player getting right now, what is the name of this one? McGrabby camels. That's going to regenerate HP on his camels. Will make it so much harder for Dark to really take any engagements over here. Whenever he manages to close the gap and do some damage to the camel archers over here, ACCM is just going to regenerate these. Yeah, take a look at that. There we go, GG's coming up. We saw the writing on the wall, and Dark's going to end up conceding in game number 4, so we have a full series on our hands, guys! Game number 5 is coming up in a moment. It's the CM2, Dark 2, what a set we have seen so far. And remember that after this one, we'll still have another set to go through, Jordan versus Dragonstar. If you want to look at something funny, you have to look at around 30 minutes again later. There's something happening with a wild boar 30 minutes into the game. Okay, let's check. Actually, let's go through the achievements first, then we'll check it. Stronger KD for ACCM. Yes, by quite a lot. Not even close. Economy. See a stronger economy as well for ACCM. Not even close. About 10,000 extra resources. Higher working count as well. Everything was looking so much better for ACCM, except for APM. But this just goes to show, raw speed not necessarily translates to better gameplay. Center of the map where the Camel Archers are, 30 minutes into the game, okay, let's check. Is it this boar? This boar? This one? What is this boar doing? Okay, running. Oh! Wait. I thought it was going to attack or something. No? Alright. This is where we saw the villager tried to get... What? Was the boar targeting the villager? Wait. What? Why? What? This is such a weird board. Why does it seem as if he's targeting units for a little bit? Yeah, he's going after the camels now. Ah, because the towers? Is it because the towers are... Oh, right, I see. So that's probably because Gaia is protecting itself, right? They were attacked because the Camel Archer attacks the Gaia tower, almost killed the villager. Right. I haven't realized that. That's actually pretty interesting, yeah. The mind of his own. Well, Mother Nature knows better. Alright. That's enough of it. Let's go back. And we are in game number 5, the final one of the series.
Yes.
Should be regicide. It is.
Teamwork.
Resources. It's like this. No more. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright. No extra resources, but it looks good. I think this is the first time that I see Riblet on Double Cup 3. I don't know if you guys had a show match before. I think we might have seen it there otherwise, but I think this is the first time that we see it like in the event proper, right? Regardless though, ACCM. Oh no. We saw it in the round of 64, I think. Actually, I think we saw like a few more times. I think we saw like 2-3 times in the round of 64 or round of 32. I don't remember which one. Yeah. Okay, so whatever. We're gonna have hunts for both these players. And for anyone who might not be familiar with this at all, this map, this is one of my favorite maps in the game. Like quite a bit. It's really well made. At the very top, we have a frozen mountain peak with goats. The relic over there, but a little to show for anything else. As we move further south, you see that the elevation gets lowered as well, and then the ice starts melting away. So we have some trees, some snowy trees. We have gold, we have stone. And then you move further down, and you have a little bit of grass over here starting to appear as you get lower in elevation. Over here we have gold, we have stone, we have wood as well. A lot more wood compared to the north. And then, as you move further south as well, you will see the very bottom of the map, the very bottom of the map, where the grass is much greener. But there is not really too much in terms of wood. You do have berries, however, you do have some gold over here, and then some herdables. And then the river is going to behave the same way as well. It's kind of frozen at the center, and then as you can, or up in the north, and then you can see it's getting clearer and clearer as you move down towards the lake. Finally. Each section of the map is going to feature 1 TC per player, and is going to be divided from the other sections by a rocky slope. And that's about it. It's a very, very well-made map. It's a beautiful looking map as well. If you take a look at this, it's just so aesthetically pleasing. At the very least, to me, it seems that way. I really like the way that it's made. Cool map, yes? Yes. Yes, sir. With triple TC start, the game is going to be a little bit quicker. It's going to be slow to start. Very similar to, you know, even double TC start compared to what we've been seeing in Warlords. It's going to be lower to the action, but it's going to be much faster to stronger units, higher ages as well, of course. So it's going to take significantly less time for the players to get to the Castle Age, to get to the Imperial Age as well. What is your opinion about this Regicide start with no scouts and no extra villagers? We could add more villagers for a later round, but I believe it also gives much higher importance to kings than a standard Regicide start. Yeah, I think it's good. And I see a king going down over here from ACCM as you're talking about it. There we go. Yeah, I think it's good as it is. I think it's fine. Unless the players have any issues with it, I don't see a reason to change it. Feel it's on the way for dark already. You gotta be careful, of course. The king can still go down to TCs, can still get body blocked, for instance, right? Similar to what we saw during Terra Nova Duos for Ruins. In that infamous Sobos game. Oh! Oh! Take a look at this top though! Dark Manager, let's go back over here and let's take a look at this. Check this out. Oh my lord, let's actually go back a little bit further. The king's trying to scout, gets to the south, and Dark immediately goes for the gate, traps ACCM's king, and this is going to be the second king from ACCM to go down this game. Traps the king, and now he's going to target it with the villager. Love it. How he got the first gate over here only to trap the king, and then he went for a little bit of a fighting arena over here, boxing ring, with extra space for the villager to actually target the king. Well done. Yeah, and just to prevent the king from walking away, I'm just going to go for one more palisade. Beautiful. And then ACCM is going to be left on a single king. This one goes down. There we are. King dies, ACCM, one king left, already lost. 2-1 to the TC on the left hand side. You can still see the remnants of the king over here. The other one to this. Beautiful. You got that link at hand, Turnip. Yes, that's the one that I'm talking about. And ACCM is not even garrisoning the king over here. It's only now getting to the FULH. Meanwhile, Dark's going forward in the north with the kings. FULH here for ACCM. Is gonna be on his way to the castle age though, unlike Dark. Dark instead is just going for extra economy. He's got fire galleys coming out, so he's gonna end up getting full water control. Hey, there we go. ACCM finally garrisons the king. Got my Twitch clips bookmarked. Ah, alright. Yes. That was yours too. Hadn't realized. Nice. And thank you for clipping that, by the way. I'm going to make a short about that video. This week. For sure. I already finished working on my shorts template that I'll be using for uploading shorts to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Which formats capture each a little bit better for shorts. You're gonna see it once the video comes up. It's actually, I gotta be honest, I'm pretty happy about it. Hey, Lawrence! Hello from London, how are you doing? What are you doing in London, man? Did you move? Are you moving? Are you there in, you know, on vacation? Let me know. That'll make it a little bit easier to talk to you in the future, though. Not moving. Okay, okay, okay.
Timo.
Up a little bit earlier, but not quite as early as you might have thought compared to Dark when you took a look at both players' resources once ACCM got to the castle age, for instance.
Bildim ben.
Oh, nice villager snipe though, down the south. That's gonna put the Eco KV 1-to-1. So in the end, ACCM ended up losing one fishing ship only, and then on the left-hand side, yeah, we saw the one villager go down from Dark, and that's about it. Dark's still roaming around with 2 out of 3 kings, so you could potentially end up losing these if he's not careful. However, ACCM has already lost 2 out of 3, so he's got just the 1 king left. And if Dark pays attention, he realizes, and he should know, right? He took the king down with a TC, and he took the king down over here with a trap. If he knows, if he remembers that there's only 1 king left for ACCM, well, that's going to leave the single king kind of exposed for ACCM if Dark is to go full pressure. Cavalry Archer's coming out for Dark, and ACCM is going for Knights. We saw this before. We saw this before. So many times on Rivulet. Cavalry Archers are so strong, so much better than Knights. Especially with triple TC start, your economy is going to get strong enough for you to sustain triple or even quadruple Archer range Cavalry Archer production so much earlier compared to other games. You're gonna be able to get to good numbers pretty soon as well, so I am liking the position for Dark over here so much better. Plus, he does end up getting a few villages down over here. Yes. I was over from Red Bull Legacy, and I'm making a trip out of it. Leaving December 5th from Frankfurt back to... Alright, making a trip out of it. I see what you mean now. Nice! Sounds good. Are you enjoying London? Let me know.
Bildim ben.
Well, would you see a counter raid coming in from ACCM? It doesn't seem to me like it's going to be anywhere near strong enough. Dark, if he places cards right over here, keeps on trying to get to the numbers he needs, should find himself in a pretty good spot very soon. And he does have the 4th Archer range over here, so it's going to be quadruple Cavalry Archer production coming in from the red player. There we go. ACCM's gonna keep on trying to find vulnerable spots around Dark's economy, and doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much.
Amrmindu.
Beautiful, and then on the left-hand side, ACCM's gonna keep on putting pressure. Maybe getting some villages down finally, but then down the south, that is a lot though. That is a lot of pressure coming in from Dark. Did Dark lose 2 kings? Probably not. Probably he's just got all 3 garrisons inside a single TC. Yes, that's the case. It can be kind of, you know, misleading in the minimap over here, but he's got them all garrisons inside a single TC. We often see something like that also happen in Metropolis, which begins with 3 TCs, sorry, with 3 castles and 3 kings too.
Timo.
Triumvirate. What's he call it? It's good. Spent a few weeks in the Netherlands with Deco. Meeting with my uncle in View, and then staying with him for a few weeks. Visiting him and some friends in the UK. Sounds great. Sounds great, Lawrence. Happy you had a good time. Man, more villages are going down over here for Dark. Significantly more losses he's taken than I thought he was going to. And I really thought it was going to be Dark the one to get the most pressure over here. To be fair, he's still roaming around with the Cavalry Archers. Now he's managed to breach through the palisades and he's coming in. But the ACCM's reaction is swift. And there's only 1 king up there though. What is ACCM doing? The king is down! Dark!
Timo.
The game! The game is over! What is ACCM doing here? Oh my lord! It wasn't even necessary for Dark to take the TC down. Ah! You really gotta feel it for ACCM. Let's just go back and relieve this in slow motion. And this ACCM's being completely reckless with his with his king so far. Let's go back and take a look at how on earth he ended up exposing the king over there. I think he just garrisoned the villagers, and then he tried to out-garrison everything, and then the king went out as well, right? So he probably used that garrison as opposed to back to work. Ungarrison, rather, I guess. So there we go. ACCM's already lost 2 kings this game. Oh man, and it's gotta hurt so much more. No. Let's go back a little bit more because we missed the king coming out. Yeah, so he already lost 2 kings. That's gotta hurt so much. You know, you're playing Regicide with 3 kings, and you lose by losing all 3 kings. Like, how likely is that? Didn't see that one coming. I was not expecting that to happen at all. I thought maybe Dark's gonna start putting pressure and... Yeah, there we go. So that's basically what happened. He just garrisoned the villagers, tried to shuffle through the villagers, expose that he had over there, and then he did not have enough space. He had enough space, but then he garrisoned the king. And he sent it up in the north. I think he misclicked here. But then, what? He's chasing the cavalry. This I don't get. Why is he chasing the cavalry archers though? We cannot see the king die. Only the outline over here, but it's one for the ages for sure though. Losing a Regicide game with 3 freaking kings. 1 to the TC. 1 to a trap. And 1 to a snipe over here when you didn't really need to. And they still had the space over here to garrison, so I have no idea what happened. Well, anyway, let's go through the achievements for this one, as the final score is going to put Dark in the semifinals of the upper bracket, and it's going to push ACCM down to the lower bracket. We'll see for the achievements for this final game. Better than 4 to 3k ratio for Dark. Well, for economy, we have stronger economy for Dark as well, collecting about 3,000 extra resources, more than that even. And for society, yes, a higher work account still. To be honest, I think even if ACCM hadn't lost the king over there, he was most likely not going to end up losing the game. And that is based on my experience casting games on this map when players go for knights versus when they go for cavalry archers. For Huns specifically, because of how cheap the CA are, usually you're able to get to your unstoppable, army of cavalry archer much faster and much easier compared to on a standard game start. So I think Dark, just by making the choice of going for cavalry archers, was in a better position compared to ACCM, but there's definitely a way to go though for ACCM with a bang over there.